Hey everyone, Brett Gurney here with BrettGurney.com. It's good to see everybody today. I just came across this old blog post that I wrote way back in March of 2014. And it caught my attention because it touches on a subject that I've been thinking, you know, quite a bit about lately because I'm writing an ebook for beginner network marketers, and it has to do with fundamentals. And so I thought I would just take a quick minute and do a blog post um, video, blog post supporting video, which is some training a type of training that I like to do sometimes. And the blog post is titled "Attracting Business Fundamentals and Concepts." And what I do here is I just read some of the blog posts, and then I touch on it a little bit, expand on it. So it goes on to say, attracting business fundamentals and concepts. Is attracting business something that is not coming easily for you? That could be the case for a lot of people, and especially for beginners, and that's usually who I'm talking to, is beginner network marketers. Are you finding it difficult gaining traction in your business building efforts? You're not alone. It takes patience and persistence, but it also takes learning the fundamentals. A coach in a training program is vital to shaving months and even years off a learning curve. Going alone seems gratifying at first. I spent years going it alone, thinking that it can't be that difficult. Other people are doing it. I can figure it out, which I basically ended up doing just that. A lot of it, anyway, is figuring out. But it took. I spent so much time floundering around on the internet, um, trying to find answers, trainings, um, and what happened was information overload. I'm sure that a lot of you are familiar with information overload. Um, it's abundant out there now, and there's a lot of good training, but there's also some things that aren't so good. And what happens is too many voices make you confused. And you just end up spinning your wheels and going nowhere, going in circles. And so finally, I ended up kind of going full circle and coming back and sort of stripping everything down and starting all over with the basics. And so going through that experience, I decided to share that with some other people, and for lack of a better word, teach them um, not to do what I did. And now that I've figured some of it out, I'm certainly not an expert, but I know a lot more now than I did then. And I know enough to share some things with some people who are just getting started, okay, because I know what it's like. And that's kind of why this, the whole ebook thing. So anyways, that's kind of why this blog post grabbed my attention, because it does talk about trying to go it alone, okay, and how it does take patience and persistence, but how important it is to find someone who's been down that road, who's been there, done that, and that can maybe cut out a lot of lost time for you and save yourself some effort, and kind of go over the basics with you. So it goes on here to say, here are 3 points of high importance to learn and remember. Identify and prioritize the key steps to your funnel, operational or expanded. In other words, learn the basics. Okay. And it's not difficult once you get with somebody who will just point blank show you or teach you the basics. And that's the most important thing, because there are basics. Okay, and it does make it easy, and it does keep people from running around in circles with all this information overload, and not going anywhere, creating results. Okay, and it goes on to say, identify threats to your success, gaps in skills and knowledge, and take steps to correct those. In other words, recognize your weaknesses, and get yourself some knowledge in those areas, practice, make it better. Okay, work on your weaknesses. And then it says to identify your most important marketing tools and training and focus on those income producing activities. In other words, you know, a lot of people spend way too much time doing things that are not income producing activities. Okay, some activities may not appear to be income producing activities at first, but in reality they are, because you're branding yourself, you're dropping seeds, you're leaving breadcrumbs, and it will all come back to you. So there are, and this is stuff that I will continue to teach about more specifically, and what things need to be done. Okay, and how regularly, and in what order, and what's important, and what will um, turn into income producing activities for you. Okay, and then it just goes on to say, get good enough at something, one thing, to become or to be considered an expert. This is a good area. Find something that you know it will be an income producing activity, and learn it, and forget everything else for a while. Okay, and learn that one thing and get good at it. Get good at it to the point where you might be maybe not an expert, but good enough to where you're generating leads, good enough to where you can teach it to someone else. Okay, get to that point before you move on to something else, and that's what, yeah, you know, that'll have a lot to do with not getting this information overload thing going on. Okay, and clear your brain, and you'll go places a lot faster. Okay, and then it just goes down to say, start blogging, videoing, posting, and commenting about your topic and your niche. Fix up your social media profiles and get active. These are all basics. That doesn't mean posting links and spamming people's walls. It means conversing with fellow networkers. This is all stuff that I'll be covering in my book. Um, you do not need to be an expert. You just need to know a little more than those you are teaching and sharing with. Leverage your talents in this way. That's exactly right. And I said that a minute ago. Get good at something. Get halfway good at it. Get really good at it. And then show others what you learned. And then those people will look to you as someone who is informative, okay, who is knowledgeable, who can show you, teach you, guide you. And you know, maybe you'll want to follow that person, okay, and learn that skill, okay, and get good at it before you start trying to learn a whole bunch of other stuff that is just going to confuse the heck out of you. Education marketing pre-sells prospects and creates a flow. Education marketing. Again, I just said that. You know, get good at something and teach it, because that's an excellent way of attracting people to you. Okay, and that's kind of what this is all about. Attracting business is a skill and an art, but it's not difficult to do, and soon will become natural. And that's right, it will. Okay, so moving along here. When you get an idea, a topic of interest, something to share or teach or explain, then blog about it, video about it, email about it, Facebook about it. Exactly what I'm doing right here. Okay, I had this idea or this experience, and I blogged about it. Now I'm videoing about it so I can share with you. Okay, and anybody can do the same thing. And I like this method because I can refer, as you see, I keep looking at my screen, that it helps me stay on the topic, stay on task, and get the points across that I want to do. So I read and talk at the same time. Anybody can do that. The number one purpose of all this is to build your list, of course. So that's exactly right. You know, and again, more stuff that I'll be teaching. Building your list. Stay tuned. Your list is your most valuable asset as a marketer. It's your bread and butter, and it's what separates those who make it from those who don't. That's very true. Okay, you got to build a list. You can use other people's content, and that's another thing that I'm going to be teaching about, is curating content. which is perfectly, justifiable and legitimate if you do it the right way. And there's some tools out now that make it really, really easy to do that. Okay, you're using other people's content, but you're crediting them for it at the same time. But at the same time, you're also getting your voice across. Sharing your ideas, branding yourself. Be yourself in your approaches and your manners. That's pretty big. Everybody has a style. Everybody has a personality. Don't try to be somebody else. Attraction marketing is a lot of things. Okay, it's content marketing. It's adding value to the marketplace. It's helping people solve a problem. It's educational marketing, but it's also just being likable. Okay, people want to work with people that are likable. Okay, so just be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. And just go with that. And I think that you'll find that there's a spot for you in this marketplace. There's a spot for everyone in this marketplace. Okay, so that's kind of about it for this video. The last thing here says, don't waste your time and energy chasing people around who don't want what you have to offer. Not everyone is your prospect, okay? So you kind of sort and sift and filter as you go, and don't waste your time with people that have no interest in listening to what you have to say. Okay, but as we go through the courses and the trainings, it kind of teach someone, hopefully, how to find those people, how to target that market. Okay, and not those who are running from it. So, okay, thanks for listening, watching the video, and you can check out my blog at brettgurney.com or my YouTube at Brett Gurney, and for more internet marketing tools, tips, and techniques. And I'll see you all again on the next training, the next video, the next blog post. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.